Hey everyone, I'm here back at Antonio's, the Figfather, and
How's
coming here
everything
to.
going?
Yeah, how's everything going since last time?
It's going busy, busy, busy. I got figs that are ripening. Been harvesting. The season for us non-greenhouse people. some
Hey,
some people with greenhouses were eating figs about like a month or two ago, and for the rest of us, average Joes, they're starting to ripen now for us.
okay, stop shading me here. I invited you over a couple times, and you got to try some.
They were good. They were very good. They were delicious.
All right, what ripened for you so far?
Believe it or not, the first variety that ripened for me, I thought it was going to be the Godfather. It grouped, but it wasn't the Godfather. It was, believe it or not, Jolly Rancher.
What
Jolly
else?
Rancher was the first one to ripen for me, followed by, I believe, Azora's Dark and Crows. I have a few other things that are ripening for me as well right now. I think I have a Calderona that's ripening. I can't wait for that thing to be at its peak.
Okay, question.
Shoot.
So, I finally got an Crozes this year. It's 1 year old, but I had Azores for a while now. And since I got the Azores, it's been the sweetest Mount Etna for me so far.
Okay.
I did have a small Crozes from the 1 year old cutting, and I can tell it still tasted like a Mount Etna, but it was sweeter than Azores Dark.
Yeah.
Is it?
100%.
Okay.
Jammier. I got Azores Dark and Crows right next to each other. We'll go take a look. They're both swelling right now.
Okay.
So they're not ready, but we'll go take a look. And see.
So you confirm as Crozes is the sweeter?
It's got more going on.
Okay.
Not necessarily sweeter. It's got a lot more going on for it than just the Azores Dark.
Okay. If you have to choose one.
Crows.
Okay. Same here. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I know they said Conde is close to Crows. I don't have Conde, but the few people that I do know that do have Conde have pretty much gravitated towards Crows. You know, I have two other Mount Etnas over here. I have Bari and Chicago Hardy. A few of them have ripened, but you know they're still going.
Okay.
As soon as they ripen, I'm in there.
You know,
I'm picking them.
I said I'm not gonna keep any Mount Etnas because, not because they're bad, because like I'm getting much better varieties ripening.
Well, you have the greenhouse.
Yeah.
So when
But
you
you
have
know-
the greenhouse, you can be a little bit more selective.
But I want to keep the Crozes because like I feel bad for people who wants an early variety, and I'm not gonna give them Bretto for God's sake.
You should always have at least one.
Yeah.
At least one, maybe two. I got four.
Okay.
You know, but here's the thing: like in our area, there's other varieties that are just as good as the Mount Etna. Like Campanieri does fantastic.
That's the tall one.
Yeah. Green Minchurinska, like there are other varieties. A lot of people just think, oh, Chicago Hardy. That's the only one that we could grow here. You know, there's a bunch of other varieties that aren't in the Mount Etna family that will actually grow here. Are early, are hardy, cold tolerant, and they do just fine. So like the notion that oh, I'm in the Midwest, I got to have a Mount Etna or Chicago Hardy, and that's the only fig I could grow. Kind of, maybe before the internet or whatnot, and people was just all word of mouth, this is that, and people would trade figs. Yeah, but now with the wide internet, and everyone could do research, and there's actual facts and things that have been proven of certain varieties, the portfolio for figs in our zone has been opened significantly. I have a Cosme Magno super late variety, no greenhouse, no
So
nothing.
give me
It's starting to ripen
give me
for
these recommendations in categories
What type of categories?
like berry, Adriatic, honey fig. Give me two of each.
That I would suggest?
Cold hardy-ish, early, and that's important, and vigorous.
I think Green Minchurinska, some people debate on whether it's an Adriatic or not. I'm a big Adriatic fan, and I think that one does very good here. Campanieri kind of like floats the boat between a honey and like a sugar fig with a slight berry. It depends on the temperature, believe it or not, when it's ripening, and how much water you give it, and how much sun exposure. All those things, believe it or not, affect the flavors of the fig. And to me, I think Campanieri, it's not going to be the Prato, but say you just could only harvest like 3 or 4 Pratos by the end of the season. To you, that may not be worth it, but if you could harvest your entire, Campaniere,
Okay.
now it's worth it,
Crozes?
Crows I would recommend.
Okay.
I'm not sure about its cold hardiness or whatnot. I store these all in the garage or the shed, and I usually keep it between 30 to 40 degrees. I have a thermostat with an electric heater, so once the temperature hits 30 degrees, the heater kicks on, not blowing on the trees like opposite
Okay.
direction, and it'll circulate until it hits 40 degrees, and then it'll shut off.
Okay.
So would you say the medium would be 35 degrees? So I don't really let them get that cold, but I am trialing at a different location at a family member's some in-ground figs. Japanese espalier.
Okay.
The 4 figs I put in ground were Campaniere was one of them, Green Manchurinska was the other. I did it on data, so
That's a risky
some
one.
people may crucify me for that, but who knows? If it works, it works.
Let's get the cuttings first, okay?
And Moro de Caneva.
Okay. What about RDB? You have one here.
Ronde Bordeaux.
Yeah.
It's a good fig, and if you don't have many figs, it's a great fig.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, usually you eat Ronde Bordeaux first, and they are good. But after a while, you kind of you want something else. Like too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Too much Ronde Bordeaux, sometimes you leave a couple on the trees as sacrifice to the other animals, so they leave everything else alone and whatnot. Me personally, big fan of the white Madeira, specifically because of its vigor and productivity. Is it better than a Cosme Magno or an Angelito? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Not
Flavor-wise, I
my-
think they have it beat. But it's super productive, it's super hardy, and it has really very limited issues for me, at the very least.
Okay. Let's stick with the Adriatic for a second, okay? White Madeira. Have you tried the Breba on it?
I've not tried Bravo.
It's above average.
Okay.
So that's another alternative if you don't have a long season.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get a Breba as early as your earliest fig, like the Campaniere and what's not, and it still tastes better than most of the other ones. The Breba I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
But guess which one beats them all? Breba wise.
Bravo-wise?
Yeah.
And out of the Adriatics?
Yeah.
Trying to think of what you got. I want to say for you it's Angelito.
Basilica.
Oh, Basilica Sica?
Okay, so
Which one? The VS or
the
the other?
VS.
Okay.
The only Basilica that worth keeping is
Okay.
is VS. Nothing against the other one, but Basilica Sica VS, it's a different level. It's like
Take a look at it.
okay. Let's keep walking.
Let's go take a look at Basilica Sica
Now
VS.
I didn't try Angelito Breva because you know what happens to my tree every winter.
I'm in the same boat. They all get a haircut.
They all get cut.
They all get a buzz cut.
But guess what?
You can't store and stack trees that are over 10 feet tall in the garage, sadly. So they all
Yeah,
get,
not when you have 100 of these.
I don't have 100. I have between 60 to 70.
That's
I would
how
have 100 if I could, but I gotta.
he
pump the
doesn't even
brakes.
know how many trees he got.
I'll know by the end of the year when I do inventory. Someone comes over, drops off a tree. Oh, you gotta Rocco came over. I want to say last week. He's like, I got an unknown blackberry for you. He dropped it off over there. I was like, yes, okay. Adriatic? He's like, yeah, I think so. I was like, wonderful. So I got that. And when someone drops off a fig, what are you gonna do?
You can't say no to a
Yeah,
fig.
you can't say no.
Where's the
I know I've
Basilica
dropped
now?
off figs.
He picked up more figs though.
I think I might have a black Tuscan that might be ready. Possibly.
Let's see the Basilica first. Mike, come steal some cuttings from you.
She's big. I'm gonna have a lot of cuttings this year.
When are you gonna steal your cuttings?
I usually take them, I want to say, depends on the weather actually, but once they go fully dormant, they hit it with a few frosts and they go night-night. It's usually when I take my cuttings. And last year, I want to say it was about the first week or so of December.
Okay.
It's been weird here. We've been having, over the past, I want to say decade, it's been getting warmer a little bit, or the warmth is hitting us later on, I should say. and you know things are going. Believe it or not, I think I harvested my last fig in November. You know, like right before Thanksgiving.
Outside?
Yeah, outside.
Very nice.
I think it was the white Madeira. It was the sweetest white Madeira of them all because it was the last one for the season. So,
Do you prune to fit in the garage? And then when you sell, you prune fresh as you sell?
no, what I'll do is I will prune everything one by one, which does take time. I will go ahead and wash them, scrub them, get them all nice and clean. I will then dip them in a water bleach solution and sanitize them, dry them, label them all, and then I'll do a paraffin wax dip on both ends to seal them. And then they go in a nice bag where they are sealed with a little opening so they can breathe, and then they'll go into a giant fridge that I have, and they stay around 35 degrees until, you know, people put in orders. I want this, and that, and then I go in, I fish them out, and off they go to their new home.
That's how we will recommend people to store their fig cuttings.
That's how I do it.
What's the oldest you had and rooted successfully?
Ooh, I had a cutting that was not from this past season, but the season before. So I want to say it was like 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was still juicy. The only issue is if you don't store them in the Ziploc bags.
Okay.
I had a few that I had in like a grocery store bag, like 2 grocery store bags. 'Cause I ran out, and then, you know, life happens and you forget about it, and then you go back and you open them up and they get a little desiccated a little bit if you don't have them sealed right. I mean, it's probably happened to everyone, you know.
Yeah.
Does it happen to you? You get some
I got so many of these. You know, you're absolutely right. So the thin bags leaks air, and I think dries them quicker.
Mhm.
Do you open the bags in between and, like, you know, just take some of the moisture if they feel damp? Do you like put paper towel and?
If they do feel damp, I'll pull them out and I'll dry them off a little bit with the paper towel and whatnot. But usually when I have my sale, they're gone within like a month. You know.
Let's stop talking about cuttings. That's depressing.
This is the Vasilica Sika, and as you can see, I'm gonna have a ton of cuttings of it.
Well, that's a new shoot. This is.
Yeah, they're aggressive. This is an aggressive variety, very vigorous. I got Vasilica Sika, which is a Greek fig, and then I got my buddy Mario's dad, the Zakitos Island Greek, right next to each other, and they're both, believe it or not, extremely vigorous, loaded with figs. I cannot wait for these to ripen.
How much growth are you gonna keep for yourself? You gotta try the Breva.
Really?
I know it's hard. You have to try at least a couple.
I usually, to be honest with you, I'll probably clip them right here.
Right,
I like
so
to keep a little wide.
It's like 25-30 inches spaced in a V. And how much of the V you gonna keep?
Probably just keep like no more than 4 nodes. I like to keep 4 nodes because if anything happens to one of the 4, I'll let all 4 branch out, so I'll keep 8.
Okay.
And then I'll go through and the ones that are growing in a direction I don't like, I'll remove them, and I'll only leave 2 on each side for a total of 4.
Okay. So you're not gonna root the Vasilica?
I may root a few. I might sell cuttings for.
I'll take your cuttings.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, early bird pricing, huh? Trying to.
No, they're not pricey. Honestly, they're not. They're all gifts to people. If I have extra, I'll sell them. But like, I have a lot of people asking me about Vasilica, and I'm like, Greek people, of course, here in Chicago area.
Everyone wants a fig from their own,
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
I get it. You know, me being Italian, I have a bunch of Italian figs.
I remember you were like, I need an I-258. I was like, dude, you only have Chicago Hard and you're jumping I-258.
I needed I-258 because I tried I-258, and when I tried I-258, I was like, all right, well,
It's amazing.
I need I-258. Luckily, I have never had one split on me, so I'm really
Don't jinx
happy.
it.
Huh?
Don't jinx it.
Well,
All right.
like on bamboo. But here.
What other Adriatic? Let's finish the Adriatic talk.
Okay, Adriatic talk. Right there, I have a prosciutto.
Somewhere here, guys.
Right there. It's
Where?
at the end.
Yep.
Look at the little tag. So, that is supposed to have a fantastic Breva. It's supposed to come from Naples, and it is supposed to be relatively cold hardy. Has not started swelling yet, but I guarantee you within a week it'll start swelling. And a lot of these figs, believe it or not, they didn't shoot out one by one. A lot of them just shot out all at once. So
That's
Who
nice.
knows if they'll ripen one by one or if they'll just start ripening all at once. Sometimes you get figs that, as the node grows, there's a new fig.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get those trees that'll just grow a whole bunch, and then one day you'll just see little pea-sized figs everywhere.
If that happens, that means you're not getting enough fertilizer and sun and heat.
They're getting heat and they're getting fertilizer and they're getting sun.
Heat and sun.
Promise you that.
Yeah. No, I mean like early in the season while they're growing. How? A lot of people say they're similar. This one is similar to white Madeira.
Here's the thing: a lot of Adriatics are more or less fairly similar. You have your smaller Adriatics, and then you have your larger Adriatics.
Where's Adriatic?
Huh?
Region. What do you consider Adriatic?
Adriatic is the term of the family, the grouping
Right.
of those types of figs. Now, the Adriatic region is, I believe, on the backside of Italy.
Central Italy.
The
Central East.
Adriatic Sea.
Right.
It's part of the Mediterranean. Yeah. It's the side where here's the boot, and it's on the heel side. Right.
So the
there.
Adriatic
and
Sea.
Croatia and Greece and stuff would all be out that way. So if you put in a thumbnail with the map right here, you could put an arrow where it is.
So is it the same like the Mount Etna's group coming originally from the mountain in Italy
and for that region?
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, there's a lot of countries that have Adriatic type figs because the Adriatic doesn't just touch Italy; it touches Croatia and a few other nations and whatnot, like Vasilika, Adriatic.
Good point. Yeah. So that's a Greek fig. So is anything grow around that region? I mean, there's
ton of figs around that region. Ton of figs. Ton of figs. I mean, there have been reports of the fig wasp being very far north in Italy. If it's warm enough, they'll go.
These are hardy fig wasps.
Yeah,
maybe hardy ones.
They'll survive. I mean, same thing like California. California, I want to say is almost like the Italian peninsula is a lot like California. You go south, hot, rocky, Mediterranean climate, and then as you go further north, a little bit more cooler, lush green, and almost literally, twins and whatnot. And a lot of those southern figs are very good. They're growing in rocky soil. They're practically grown in stone and whatnot, and they're very, very heat tolerant. Their roots go very, very deep, and I mean in the Mediterranean it doesn't rain a lot at all practically during the summer months when figs are actually ripening. And they're incredible.
Perfect weather.
Incredible. Yeah, we don't got that here, but we do the best we can. I mean, the girls seem to be somewhat happy.
What about green Michelinska?
Green Michelinska. I believe it's a Bulgarian fig.
Okay. How old do you have it for?
It's a 1 year.
Okay.
See, some figs, 50-50 on if they really do truly taste good in pots versus in ground.
So that one, you need to test both the earliness. That's for next season for you, right? Earliness and flavor.
I have that as a Japanese espalier at a different location in ground, and we're going to see how that one does.
So you have two of them?
Huh?
You started two?
No, I only have that one.
Ooh.
I'm going to grab cuttings off of it. Don't get me. It's got cuttings I'll be able to harvest and whatnot. But when I got it, I was like, you know what? Let me Japanese espalier this and let's put it in ground and let's see what happens. If it all works out, it all works out. Because figs in ground, way better than in pots, in my opinion, and that is my opinion.
No, that's a fact.
Well, in parts of Europe and stuff, most of that soil is very rocky, especially like southern parts of Europe. But out here, we don't have that rockiness. What we do have is really dense clay soil, which, believe it or not, very, very nutrient rich, very moisture controlled. It doesn't really dry out, unless it's like bare earth and bakes in the sun. So if you had a fig tree in ground here, to be honest with you, after like a year or so, you probably don't have to water it anymore.
That's a good point. Honestly,
and that's fine.
When I see pictures like some of these Mediterranean fig farms, especially in the wild, like I'll look at the tree and it's like 30 years old tree and it looks like the one behind you. But then I've seen people, especially in the south, where they have like Randy Bordeaux in the ground, and I think it's like a jungle. It's all of your trees combined out of one root ball.
Yeah. Figs will either grow like a bush or they'll grow like a tree. And if you grow them like a tree, that's because you shaped them to be like a tree. And if a human being no longer starts shaping that tree, generation after generation, not even after generation, probably within a few years, you're going to see the suckers come out from the ground, and before you know it, that tree is just going to turn into a bush.
But that's also because they die to the ground every year too, so keep that in mind.
Not in every country.
Not in every country.
Not in every country.
Yeah.
You know, you go to California, you'll see nice, beautiful fig trees, most likely. But if you're driving around, you'll see them, you know, scattered throughout, you know, just the wilderness and whatnot, and they don't look like trees. They just look like massive bushes. Like if these were all, you know, if you couldn't see the pots in the single trunk, all this looks like it might be one tree.
Yeah.
You know, they grow very, very well if you take care of them and everything. And let's take a look. What is it, a bird over here?
Yeah.
See? Trying to get in here. Let's take a look. I think I have a Craven's Craving. No. Needs a little bit more time.
A couple more days.
Now let's take a look. I have crows, and I believe I have your old Azores Dark over here. They're the two big ones right here. So I have a few that are ripening, so be careful. There's a tight squeeze. Girls are packed in here tight. Let's come down here and take a look. I'm gonna hunch down here real quick. If you want to get in here, get the camera.
Where is it?
This is Azores Dark.
That's Azores.
It's ripening right here. They're right here.
That one here. Oh, that needs a day or two.
And then right here I got crows that are ripening. These are they still need time.
So it's supposed to be like really dark, right? The crows.
Yeah, it'll get dark.
Okay.
Right now it's just
You know,
down there and it's shaded.
I'm
It's
gonna
just starting to swell.
check with you in a couple of days. I want to see if it actually darken in the shade over there without any direct sunlight. That would be.
Well, especially on some of these, I'll have figs on the lower branches that really don't get much sun.
Okay.
And then I got figs that are a lot higher that get sun. Like over here, I think I have a Black Tuscan. Let's see. This one's small. I'll let you take a look, see if it's ready. If it needs a little bit more time.
It's ready.
Pick it.
So that's confusing. You know that, right?
That's confusing.
What's confusing? Black Tuscan is a black Madeira. It's a late variety.
Yeah.
And it's ripening ahead of everything, most of your other trees.
Weird things happen when you got a microclimate. Yeah, it's a Black Tuscan. Let's take a
This
look.
one is round, almost like
Yeah, I'm going to show
Craven.
you something else that's ripening for
Yeah.
me. Which apparently isn't supposed to, but these are starting to swell. This is Cosme Manu.
Oh,
These are all
nice.
starting to swell.
Oh, wait.
And it's the 31st of August.
Yeah.
They'll ripen. I'll be in Cosme Manu.
So,
Let's take a look. Oh, look at the jammies. I'm going to give you the bigger piece. You fed me enough figs. Time for me to...
thank you.
Actually, this is actually the Black Tuscan off of your tree.
Mm.
You want to add it back to the collection?
I have enough black Madeira. So,
Okay, let me see.
finish your bite. So a lot of people think it's late and it's impossible.
I got Calderon over here. Look at this. It's starting to ripen. Probably put a bag on it.
Really nice. Yep.
Well, I'll do it in a minute.
So no greenhouse. You just put them in the garage. Just attached garage, not additional heat, right? During the March period.
No, I
You
don't,
just keep it over freezing. You don't heat it like.
I don't do the early wake up to where you pump heat in the garage and put grow lights on them and stuff like that.
And you just had the Black Tuscan.
I just had a Black Tuscan. I bring them out from the garage. Usually I want to say mid-April. Like April 14th to April 21st, depending on the weather. I don't care
Mother's
if
Day.
Yeah, I don't care if it's gonna frost. I don't care if it's gonna whatever, because at that point they're not really. What frost is gonna hit? Just the trunk. You know what I mean? It's lignified and whatnot. I'll bring them out. I'll put them under there for a couple weeks if they have already woken up.
Okay.
If they've already woken up and I got leaves and stuff, they're gonna go under the cabana over there for about 2 weeks to get used to the UV rays, and then I'll put them over here. If they haven't woken up and they're completely asleep, they go directly here.
So they get out mid-April. There are no buds at all.
Some have buds, some don't.
Just small buds.
Yeah, small buds, like they'll start to swell.
No leaves.
And whatnot.
So nothing for the frost to damage.
Nothing for the frost to damage.
And you put them in to acclimate just in case.
Yeah, if there are some, because there were a couple that did bud out and had a few leaves, and once they wake up in the dark or in the garage, you can't put them in full sun. The sun will burn them immediately. So you have to harden them off to the UV rays, and I have a little covering over there. But if it's just the trunk and everything's still asleep, or maybe the buds start to swell but they're not really busting out, they'll go right here. And then here, with the rocks and the sun hitting the black pots, it gives me enough of a microclimate to where I could get that jump. And same thing in the fall. I get enough of that microclimate to where I could get that jump. It's been cold at night lately. I have no greenhouse.
Yeah.
How did that black Tuscan taste?
Amazing. Just like mine.
Just like yours? It's a little bit better than yours.
It's my tree technically, so.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, you could do the greenhouse, you could do the microclimate. Both require a southern facing exposure. If you don't got that southern facing exposure, you don't got the sun. And like I said it a million times, I'll say it a million times more. If you don't got the sun, you don't got the goods. It's really hard to grow figs in the shade. Really,
you think black rocks would do any better?
Black rocks over there.
With these? Well, these are lava rocks, so they're not gonna. I'm talking about these rocks, river rocks, but black.
So I have a theory. Could be wrong, could be right. It's a theory. There's a couple black rocks in here. They're mixed, pebbled. I like the fact that pots are black in the spring and in the fall because the sun hits them, they get hot, they warm up the root zone, and the metabolism gets going, and we're in business. But during the summer, when it is sometimes here in this area 100 plus degrees, sometimes the black pots can be a detriment. They get too hot, they get heat stress. A lot of moisture evaporates out of them. Now, above where all the leaves are, more sun, more heat, great. But at the root zone, an in-ground tree can almost thermoregulate itself because it's in the cooler ground, no matter how hot it is. But in these pots, if you're not watering on a consistent basis to keep those temperatures down, these could overheat very, very quickly. So what I'm going to do for next year, I'm going to be doing a drip irrigation system because I played around with watering once a day, twice a day, even, believe it or not, 4 times a day. A little experimentation that I did. They actually like being watered 4 times a day. If you're going to give them each a gallon of water, let's say 6 a.m., quarter gallon, noon, another quarter gallon, 6 p.m., quarter gallon, midnight, quarter gallon. Now, who's really going to do that? You know what I mean? A little crazy. But if you have a drip irrigation system, the sporadic watering, I think, will do a lot better for the trees because it's just going to consistently...
Can I stop you for a second?
Go ahead.
What are you talking about?
Watering.
Look at your trees. What do you want more?
Well, you know, always try and push for more, man. You know, gotta push it you gotta send it.
Okay, so you have a great point. Regular watering, making sure your pots are always moist, improves the quality of the figs, and prevents splitting. Believe it or not.
Now, back to that black Tuscan. This is a different mix. This is my soil mix, but this is double the compost.
Nice.
It feels different than the other pots because it's heavier. This pot has been consistently damp. It never has dried out compared to some of these other ones. That black Tuscan did not split.
Yep.
I'm a big proponent that splitting happens not with overwatering. It happens when the pots go dry and then you give them a drink of water and they freak out. But if you have a consistent moisture level in your pots and they are constantly being watered at a precise amount, if you overwater, all your nutrients, all your fertilizer, everything flushes out. If you underwater, the trees don't like it. So you got to add just enough water to where everything's wet, but you're not pooling a bunch of water out of these things.
Remember the flood irrigation in my backyard? So believe it or not, for 10 days straight, it's been like inches of water.
Flow system, a natural ebb and flow system.
No splitting. Quality was amazing. And now I'm like watering like every time I can.
I don't think when you overwater it dilutes the flavor of the fig. I think that only happens when the tree goes dry for an extended period of time and then it gets that drink of water. Doesn't know what to do with it. It freaks out.
How much compost? 50%?
Let me see. This one isn't 50%. This is the regular mix. So that black Tuscan is the 50% compost, and the Vasilika Seek over here is the 50% compost.
That's what you recommend, right?
Huh?
That's what you
I've
recommend?
been experimenting.
But so far?
So if you want to water less, yeah, the 50% compost. But if I get a drip irrigation system and I don't really have to worry about having to water all the time because it does it automatically, the mix I have will do good.
What about the nutrients with the and microbes in the compost? That's all good stuff, right?
Yeah, but I try and treat this like a forced floor. So leaves, bad figs, they go in there, they break down, and then the natural microalgae that I have already inoculated into my soil, that fungus will break everything down. If you see, I have mushrooms going in a good amount of these.
Okay.
You know, they come and they go. See, there's a mushroom right there. There's a mushroom right there.
Yeah.
You know, if you keep going, you'll find a few that have more, some
So
that have less. They pop up, they go
indirectly
away.
you're giving them compost, right?
I give them compost as a top dressing, mushroom compost. I never do animal compost. Never, 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 never. Because I'm a big proponent that the animal compost, if you go too heavy on it, it could lead to anaerobic conditions, especially if you place them in pots that are not aerated, like air pots or grow bags. I know a lot of growers that had trees and they put them in regular solid pots, and over the winter they died. It wasn't because of cold or whatever, they rotted from the anaerobic conditions in the pots. These things, in the winter, once a month, I'll give them one little red Solo cup of water. And that's it. Just enough to keep, you know, the root ball moist and everything. That's it. I don't go crazy. They're all stacked anyway, so I just, you know, I usually stack them three. They're so tall. It looks like a lot of figs, but when they're kind of condensed and all cut down, it's not that bad. It's really not.
Very nice.
We could talk about figs for days.
I know.
So let many topics to talk about.
Let me do this. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna take a video close up here of the growth. We'll come here in like end of September and see how hard. That's cicada damage, by the way.
I've been having a few of them.
So we'll see how much of a difference a month will do to the lignifying process here.
It is lignified up until what? This point. I got another.
Pretty much.
What, foot or so?
You can root this.
Mm-hmm.
You can root this.
No, by the end of November.
That's Angelito.
Huh?
That's
Angelito
Angelito.
right
So we'll see Angelito.
These will be fully lignified by the end of the season.
Nice.
Fully lignified. Tomorrow is the 1st of September, and I will be giving them their nutrient, because I usually do it on the 1st and the 15th of every month. And they're not getting the Jax mix anymore. They're just going to get Part A. No more nitrogen. No more nitrogen.
When did you
As soon
stop?
as summer. The last time they got the 3 parts was August 15th.
Okay.
So once you go from your summer months to your fall months, just Part A, no more. They still need the nutrition that the Part A gives them, but they don't need that extra nitrogen that is just going to cause them to keep growing, because at that point then they won't lignify by the end of the year. And it's just a waste of fertilizer, because they'll just, when the frost comes, those tips that are green that didn't lignify, toast.
Part B is 5, 12, 26, right? I think so.
Part A.
Part A, sorry.
I think Part B is just straight nitrogen.
No, I'm talking about Part A.
Part
5, 12, 26, right?
I recall, yeah, it might be.
So it's still got 5% nitrogen, which is good.
It is actually, because they still do need nitrogen.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got all of September and all of October to go.
That's good.
You know, that's, and then even November over here, possibly 3. They still got 3 more months of just growth. You know, usually they'll slow down, but they're still going to keep growing until then. And I will fertilize until they go dormant. I don't, let's say, oh, it's November, stop fertilizing. they get fertilized until the frost comes, and they shed all their leaves, and then they go night night. Because
That's why they grow this tall the
Mhm.
following season.
Well, good cuttings lead to good rooted trees. So, you know, best cuttings in my opinion, the crappiest, tree in ground will produce a better cutting than the best tree in a pot. And that's just a fact, because in ground it's got all the vitamins and the nutrients that it needs to pump into itself. So when you take that cutting, it roots out good. In pots, we're limited, so you got to feed. So those cuttings are just packed full of the nutrition that they need to explode once they root out.
So
I wish that Calderona was right for you.
I know it's already 35 minutes. I know a lot of
Oh,
people
wow. It's a long one.
gonna have to enjoy their weekend and not just watch us here. They have better things to do. What we will do in a month, we'll come and talk about spraying what we will spray before we put these in storage. You don't want any insects, you don't want any bugs, you don't want anything hiding and taking a hike and free ride in your storage too, right?
Yeah, actually, the rodents will wreak havoc on it. Make sure that you have everything
Okay.
cleaned up.
So let's keep that for another episode.
Oh, we will.
All right, guys. Antonio, thank you for the quick talk here.
Figfather out.
Figfather out. Not yet.
Not yet.
We'll do another. We still have a month in the season.
All right, well, out for now.
Okay.
Till next time.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you all enjoy your Labor Day holiday, and see you guys soon.